There are many ways in which you can use parts therapy with yourself or with your clients. There are many methodologies out there. I know of at least 10. I have not studied all 10 of them, but I know of them. I've studied 4 or 5 of them. And in this video, I want to show you the differences between them. When you are working with the Aguirian method, you do not actually talk directly with a part, but you find the central part. The Aguirian method brings one extra element to the table, and that is the central part. This idea of central part is also found in internal family systems, where you have the self. But this is not a part like the other, right? So when I work with the Aguirian method, I tell the client, so there is this part of you who is the oldest part, who is the all-knowing part. There's this part of you who knows all the other parts, controls all the other parts, can communicate all the other parts. This is the part of you that is above all the others and is not affected by them, right? So this kind of a presentation. So in the Aguirian method, you have this central part. You first connect to the central part, and then through the central part, you talk to the part that is causing the problem, which is different from parts therapy from Roy Hunter, where you go and identify that particular part or parts and you work with them. In the Aguirian method, you identify the central part first, and then you talk with the others. Then you have, for instance, resource therapy. In resource therapy, Professor Gordon Emerson actually had created an amazing way of working with parts, because he said any and all problems that people have can be put in certain categories or typologies, if you will, or taxonomies. Whenever a client says something in resource method, using resource therapy, resource method, by understanding what the client is saying to you, you can say, oh, so what he says, and then you have a little questionnaire to get more information, and then you discover that actually this particular client has one of different 8 pathologies. If you say, I have this issue, I know it's this pathology. If I have this issue, I know it's this problem. The client says, I'm dealing with depression, or I'm dealing with phobia, or I cannot sleep at night, or it's hard for me to take decisions. I feel angry and I cannot control that. Any and all of these different things that the client says, you can actually map them on a checklist, on a map that Professor Emerson created. Once you have this mapped out, you would know that, for instance, for this pathology, let's say pathology number 1, for this, you have to use certain steps. And for pathology number 5, different steps. And for pathology number 7, different steps. He has mapped out different 8 pathologies that people can have. And then he has a 13, 15 step process that you can use to help the client with that issue. So pathologies, and then the key, the process. If I have, let's say, 15 steps here, then I'll have to use, for pathology number 1, I'll use step 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 11. And that's it. For pathology number 2 or number 3 in my list, I'll use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. This is a very easy way of working, because basically you don't have to guess. The client says this, then in my list it checks up this box. So if it checks this box, then I know what to do. I do this. So this is very, very smart. I would say I love it. I'm using it all the time. And also resource therapy comes with another very interesting and helpful perspective on working with parts. And that is that it brings this idea that a client can have an issue because a part is expressing, manifesting, causing a problem, but only to protect another part. And this concept is very, very interesting and very helpful. And I found that with some of my clients, when I've been bringing up this approach, the result was super fast, and they got closure and they got released very, very fast, because we could do it this way. When working with parts, for instance, with the Charles Tebbett's Roy Hunter type of intervention, this is more of a negotiation where you bring up the part or the parts and you start working with them directly, communicating with them directly, and then negotiating with them to help the client achieve closure, achieve healing. This is more about negotiating. It's more about finding ways to, if you will, convince the part, or finding ways to persuade the part to do as the client wants. So as you can see, there are so many ways in which you can use concept of parts to help yourself or to help your clients. Once you know at least 3 of them, if you know, this will give you so much leverage, will give you so much understanding, and will give you so much opportunity to be able to help the client so much better, so much faster. Because when you can understand the different modalities, and when you understand how you can apply them depending on whatever the client needs, then you're so much more skilled. It's so much easier for you to work with the different issues. I found clients where I wanted to work with them using, let's say, the Aguirian method, and they couldn't get it. But then I switched on to resource therapy, and it worked like a charm. Or I tried the Aguirian, I tried resource, nothing worked, and then I did parts therapy, and that worked super easy. Or you'll have clients where none of this stuff works, all right? None of this stuff works. It's simply, for them, the idea of working with parts is just a city in China or on the moon somewhere in the other universe, and they don't grasp it, they don't work it, they don't understand it. So then drop it. Don't work with them with parts. Find something else so you can help your clients. There are different methodologies, there are different ways of working with parts, there are different approaches. All of them bring something, all of them have their own value, and all of them are extremely powerful and effective when used in the right situation with the right client for the right issue. And if you'd like to learn more about how to work with parts therapy, with resource therapy, with the Aguirian method, with core transformation, if you'd like to have a better understanding of the concept of working with parts, then I would like to invite you to our training on parts therapy. It's a parts therapy masterclass. It's an international certification training course where I will share with you all of this information I've gathered over the years. We'll do demonstration sessions, you'll do practice sessions, you'll get written materials, you will have also bonuses that you can achieve or you can get when you sign up. So if you'd like to learn more about this workshop, then click on the link below in the description here. You'll see all of the details on our website, and sign up or send us a message if you have any more questions. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.